Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, President. Hi, Representative de Hayer, colleagues. We need to tell Europeans the truth. The world balance between superpowers is often dependent and not so much upon an understanding as upon fear. And a deterrent effect can form part of that. But in order to achieve a deterrent, the adversary needs to know that what's in it for them cannot amount to as much as what they stand to lose. We need peace as a guarantee of that balance of power. For decades, we have been in denial about that in Europe, and we've subcontracted it to NATO, to the US, to others. Article 5, the collective defense commitment, was always about other people. It's always someone else who's going to step in. It's never us who's going to do something. And we're now seeing the consequences of that attitude. It's come back to bite us. We haven't only underinvested in defense, we are also now facing the threat of a foreign army. That has now come to pass. We were sure that the dividend of peace would never run out. On the 24th of February 2022, we faced a decisive shock to our system. We were entirely unprepared for that. We were unprepared for providing military assistance to Ukraine to defend ourselves, to engage in production, getting supplies out there and achieving deterrence. We need to ensure that we draw upon what NATO can offer in terms of reassurance and deterrence. There has been an unfair distribution of the burden since the alliance was founded. We now need to ensure that this is no longer a promise on paper, that this joint commitment is not about keeping Trump happy. Rather, for the sake of our own independence, for the sake of our own security, and for the sake of the security of Europeans, we need to achieve a better distribution. And it's not just about putting a figure on it. 5% is great. It's a step in the right direction. But I think we need to be crystal clear here. It's still not enough for our strategy. We need a single military market in Europe. We urgently need that. Ukraine's accession is a strategic challenge too, and we need a budget for that. 3 years on from the beginning of this conflict, we need to do a bit of soul-searching and see where we're going. What are we going to do as Europeans for our own security? My group, Renew Europe, calls for tangible action to ensure that Europe has a capacity for self-defense. The European Parliament adopted a tangible programme for the European defence industry. We call on Council to implement it without delay. In order to meet current strategic challenges, to create a single market for defence, to rationalise procurement and to ensure that European industry can progress, it is time to ensure that we go further with our discussions about deterrence and how to achieve it in Europe. We need more nuclear in France. We need to develop a European military culture, a pan-European military culture with a military academy. We want a European Security Council for that new defence matrix. No more taboos. That is the way we should go forward with NATO.